take a second, but I'm going to just say it how it's coming to me. Sometimes when you choose a man that God did not send to you, he didn't mean for you. This is not your person, but you choose that man anyway. God will allow that man to hurt you over and over and over again until you have no choice but to open up your ears to what God was trying to tell you all along. When you choose a man that God did not send to you, he did not purpose for you, he didn't prepare for you, the man was not right. When the enemy sent you somebody and God didn't, God gonna try to tell you. That's all the stuff that you have to ask your friends about, you're curious about, something just don't seem right, but then you allow yourself to get distracted, or you just put your mind on something else that appeals to you so that you don't have to like see it for what it is. But when God didn't send you somebody, he's not going to yell at you. Y'all be thinking that God just going to yell at you. God, why didn't you protect me? Why didn't you stop me from being with this man? God don't yell. First, he tell you so you can learn it the easy way. But if you don't want to learn it the easy way, he going to let you learn it in your own time. And however many times you got to get your heart broken, how many times you got to get embarrassed, how many times you got to get disappointed, he going to let that happen until you finally say, okay, now I'm listening. It's almost like we have to heartbreak the stuff out of our ears so we can hear clearly. We have to heartbreak the wool over our eyes. You know what I'm saying? Until that breaks. It's almost like that's what we have to do. And it feels like, well, God, why didn't you protect me? And the thing about God that I've noticed, and you ain't got to be religious and none of that kind of stuff. Truth is, God will not go against your free will. To choose him, you choose him or not, he ain't tripping. To choose whatever, good health, a healthy relationship, you want to listen? Cool. He talking. He talking. But if you're not listening, okay, you're going to get the lesson a different way. He speak all kind of languages. Which one gonna do it for you? Let me put this here, matter of fact. Because, okay, after my master classes, I'm gonna tell y'all how we even got here. Now, I am a believer. I believe in Jesus Christ, but I don't push that on nobody. I just try to embody it to the best of my ability while I'm learning how to follow him myself, okay? But those who are aware, at times I will get questions from them. So I got a question from a sister. She's a believer. And she had that whole question after my last master class, how to break the soul tie. And I gave a step-by-step strategy. If you're still dealing with soul ties, basically, if you haven't gotten your peace back from anybody who once hurt you or engaged with you on a very intimate level, slept with you, maybe you just gave this person the best of you and they disappointed you, and there's still a way that they're affecting you. You still got a soul tie you got to deal with. So anyway, her question was more about, how do I prevent myself from dealing with somebody that God didn't send to me? I know how to choose a man that's my type. I know how to avoid men that hurt me just straight up and down. But how can I identify the man that God did not send for me so that I can just stay away from them? For anybody else who wants to know, there's typically 5 ways. There's a few more, but I'm gonna just give the main 5 ways you know God did not send that man to you. And this is biblically based, but honestly, you're probably going to hear the practicality in it because the Bible is also practical. The first way you know God did not send that man is if he brings confusion into your life. Because God did not bring the spirit of confusion. That's not of God. So again, you ain't even got to be religious to understand this. But for those of y'all who are believers, whether you're religious or not, you whatever, you want the absolute best that God has created for you, right? He don't deal with lukewarm. That's biblical. He don't deal with confusion. He ain't come to bring the spirit of confusion. And therefore, he's not going to bring a man into your life that's going to lead you into either of those things, either to be acclimated down to lukewarm love or to be confused about where you stand and where he stands and all these other. When you get a man that twists and turns whenever you guys are having a conversation, when you get a man who's so misaligned, you don't know what to believe from this dude. That's not a man of God. I'm not even talking about Jesus Jr. We all sin. We all fall short. I'm not your preacher. Okay. But I believe in God's way of doing things, because when I've done it opposite, I pay the price just like a lot of y'all have. But if you want to know if a man was truly sent from God, he's not going to bring confusion. This man is going to bring such a definitive understanding of what he wants. And it's going to be backed up with his consistent actions. And in any situation where you even have a question, which is totally normal. Hey, what you want? Like, what does this mean when it's like, he's a leader. So he's going to look for the opportunity to lead you into understanding, to bring clarity, to teach you some things. But if you leave conversations, or if you leave dates, or if you every single week or month that you're with this guy, you're dating this guy, you're going more and more into confusion. That's what he's bringing into your life, which tells you God didn't bring that man into your life. If anything, the man is supposed to bring you out of confusion. Again, we're supposed to be leaders. So that's why I say a man's whole purpose is really to add value. And really, you should be adding value as well. But if the man is not enhancing your quality of life, why is he there? So if you come in and you're not sure if you're beautiful enough for a man to remain attracted to you or desire you over the long term, the man that comes into your life should be removing that confusion, removing that doubt, with how he shows up for you, with how he affirms you, with how he compliments you, with how he takes his time with you, with how he looks at you, that he truly desires you, doesn't just want you, but values you. He should be leading you out of any uncertainty or confusion about whether or not you're as pretty or pretty enough for a man to truly be attracted. If you come in and you're uncertain that you can accomplish something, the man that comes into your life, if God sent him, is going to remove that confusion about what you're capable of. He's going to build you up. He's going to speak to the queen in you. He's going to support you. His actions are going to say that he truly believes in you because he's going to invest in you. I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm saying he's God sent. God does send imperfect men, but there's never going to be a situation where God sends a man to bring you downhill away from him, away from how he designed you, the best that he designed you to be, your fullest potential. Another way that you know God did not send that man is if he operates on the spirit of fear. And again, even for those of y'all who are believers, you already know this is biblical. God did not bring the spirit of fear. That is not of God. Any man that leverages fear, any man that leverages trying to be domineering, any man that tries to spook you, well, you ain't gonna be able to find nobody else. Or you gonna die alone. You gonna go out here, you think you're gonna find somebody else? You're gonna be out here and nobody gonna want you because you got kids now, you got this, that, and the other now. BS. And by the way, for those of y'all who ever been taught something like that, please don't listen to that man anyway. I'm gonna just keep it all the way practical with you. Kids, a little weight on you. There's dudes who love them a woman that got a little extra. I'm just straight up. And those of y'all who maybe you ain't thick enough or whatever, there's men who are just fine with that. Long as you taking care of yourself, you got good hygiene, you got good self-esteem, so you confident, and you flaunt whatever you got, like you rocking it. There are men who are just fine, whatever curves you do or don't got, whatever weight you do or don't got, your height, your whatever. I will say this, as long as you're taking good care of yourself. But please don't believe no man, oh, nobody wants you got 3, 4 kids. I done seen women with 4, 5, 6 kids go out here and find a man that was a massive upgrade to the one that they was with before because they waited for the man God had for them. And by wait, I don't actually mean literally sitting on your hands, twiddling your thumbs or whatever, just waiting. What I mean is they didn't just jump at the next man that they liked, the man that was a type. Because I've been saying this for years. I think it was probably like 10 years ago when I first started. I said, your type is the exact reason why you can't find your soulmate. Your type is the reason why you can't find your soulmate. Your type is based on if your type is based on what you like, what excites you, what keeps your attention. Your type can get in the way of your soulmate. The soulmate is who God is trying to send you. So back to what I was saying, when a man is trying to leverage fear, that's not the man God sent. The man God sent is going to leverage, ain't nothing wrong with leverage, but he's going to leverage his value. The man that God sent is going to make it a wise decision for you to stick with him. He's going to make it a smart decision to stick with him. He's going to bring so much value to your life. He's going to increase you. He's going to support you. He's going to be there for you when other people aren't, or otherwise you would have to be there for yourself. He's going to strengthen you. If he does make any type of mistake, not a deal breaker, just a mistake, he's going to be accountable. The man that God has for you, he's going to make it a smart business decision, just straight up logic, that you stay with him. The man God did not send for you is always going to leverage fear of what could go wrong if you don't do it his way. What could go wrong if you hold him accountable? What could go wrong? Oh, these other women out here would love a man like me that pay the bills and don't do nothing else. There's women out here, you let another woman take your spot, that's fear. Or you just going to pay all the bills by yourself? He get you wrapped in, he love bomb you, and then start threatening to take it away. Fear. Y'all ever had a man try to like guilt trip you or spook you or leverage maybe even an insecurity to keep you? Y'all ever had a man that talk like things would just get so bad and detrimental if you went out? Yeah, other men want to sleep with you, but they don't want to be with you. Put I down in the chat if you ever been with a man like that. That's a man that's leveraging fear. God did not send that man. Like that's how you can honestly discern if God sent the man for you or not. What spirit is this man walking in? Holy Spirit has fruit. And when I say Holy Spirit, because I know I'm talking to multiple people, wherever you at in your journey towards whatever it is you call God or spirituality, I want to be able to connect with you. This ain't just for believers and this ain't for atheists or nothing like that. But wherever you are, if you want a healthy relationship, discern what spirit this man is bringing into your life. If you're more confused, that was the first point. Or if you're more in fear, and these are the reasons why you're staying in that relationship, that's not who is going to bring you to your fullest potential, aka God's vision for you, which is going to be what connects most closely with God. Pamela said, you have one of my books? Oh yeah, you on. Thirdly, third sign that God did not send that man, if he tries to bare minimum you. Anything that I say, now, I don't typically do these types of videos for y'all. I mean, just keep it real with you. Social media is a lot of people, but for my mentees, they already know how I get down. Everything I say can be cross-referenced with the Bible. Jesus said, I came so you can have life and have it more abundantly, meaning the absolute most, like more. There ain't nothing in the Bible that's telling you to have so little and have so few options or to just be okay with barely nothing. No. Life and have it more abundantly. That includes in your relationship. There should be an abundance of affection. There should be an abundance of communication. There should be an abundance of transparency. There should be an abundance of laughter, investment. There should be an abundance. When it comes to you going out here getting money or whatever, there should be an abundance. Honestly, you should strive for an abundance. Don't mean you gotta be a multimillionaire, nothing like, but when I say bare minimum, I'm talking about the man's effort. I'm doing the best I can. But you can see that he's spreading his attention, his energy, his investment all over these other things that he's really putting above you. That's bare minimum. He's telling you and guilt tripping you for saying you need more, you want more. What's going on right here isn't quite fulfilling to you and you want to take a step forward. And he's like, oh man, you're always nagging you. Da, da, da. He's trying to bare minimum you. You ask him to do the simplest thing and it's always a argument. It's always some type of strife. You just need him to do it like that, man. Slow down a little bit. Whenever we gonna cuddle or something like that, can we at least have a conversation? You just want to get on to something sexual? Like, can we? Bare minimum. He wants you to have the bare minimum expectations. You want a man to do everything. I just want you to affirm me and try to be romantic sometime. The man God has for you is not looking for bare minimum. He's not even interested in bare minimum. The absolute most he's capable of. Now, does this mean that the man that God has for you is going to have his life revolving around? Actually, a godly man is actually going to have a purpose. It's going to be what God has him to do, right? But in that, there's going to be integrated a foundation with a woman, our helpmate, right? When God made Adam, first off, he gave him a field to work in. So there was a priority in terms of at least the order, what Adam was supposed to be tending to. There was work for Adam to do first. And then secondly, he brought Eve in because he said, Adam, that ain't quite my vision. When I made you in my likeness, you got some of it, but you ain't got all of it. I need one more part of this to come together to be the image of God. And so Adam is never going, your man, if he's truly sent from God, is never going to let you either fall by the wayside in terms of priority or to try to get you to settle for less. If anything, he's going to be pushing you to maximize not just yourself, but to maximize him, to challenge him to do more. Because when you're dealing with a man that God sent and you ask him for more, what you're saying to him is, I believe that you can do more. That's what it says. If a man is ridden with insecurities, you asking him for more is going to be met with all of this defensiveness and he's going to be feeling insulted and attacked and judged and this, that, and the other. And that's where the bare minimum comes from. But when a man is truly walking in his purpose, he's truly walking by faith in God, and you say, I need you to do more. Long as you've been acknowledging what he has been doing, I'm not saying you over here being ungrateful and use your discernment with what I'm saying. But if you've been acknowledging that man, if you've been appreciative, if you've been receptive, And you say, hey, but in this area right here, there's some improvement I'm going to need from you. Oh, you coming to talk shit? That's not the man God sent for you. Am I making sense to anybody? Am I making sense? Y'all let me know. Am I making sense? I want to know if I'm talking to the right people. Typically, I leave this for the master classes or my mentees. You know, I have a private mentorship group, Self-Crown VIP, for the last 5 years, where I go really deep, but I wanted to bring something a little different. All right, cool. Y'all get it. Another sign God did not send that man for you. Speaking of insecurities, if he tries to humble you, if you have a man that sees you confident, glowing, happy, on top of the world, your energy is right. I mean, you just lit right now. And he in any way tries to bring that down a notch, a couple notches, that's not the man God sent for you. Granted, I'm talking about a man who does these things on a regular. Even a man that God sent can have ways that he needs to get on track. He needs to tighten up. He can make a mistake. Again, use your discernment. But when you see this man is regularly doing a certain thing, there's like, pay attention to the habits, the patterns. I always say words lie, actions can even deceive, but patterns always tell a person's truth. If he has a pattern of humbling you, you accomplish something. It's all right. I mean, you know, but what does it mean though? Like, what does that mean? You out here, you just got hired for a new company, or you got considered for a promotion, or you just started a new business and the things is popping. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's all right. Oh, okay. I'm tired of hearing about it though. Like, how long you gonna talk about it? Humbling you. There was a girl recently, matter of fact, I just saw her, 2 days ago on the blogs or whatever, came across my Explore page. And she was on live. Asked her man, do you think I'm pretty? He said, yeah, you're beautiful. And she was like, but do you think I'm pretty? Y'all probably seen it. She's in her natural, no makeup. She's just got her hair. Like, I think she's like in a robe. She's comfortable. She's at home. And he was like, sometimes. She was like, sometimes. She was like, what about right now? Do you think I'm pretty? Just natural face. No, I don't think you're pretty. And she's on live, y'all. She's recording this, but she's really on live with thousands and thousands of people. She's like, you don't think I'm pretty right now? This goes beyond a man telling his truth. This is a man that has a woman that is excelling in her career. She's a celebrity. That's why she's on the blogs. She's a celebrity. She's doing her thing. And in a moment where she looks to him really for reassurance, maybe there's some insecurity there. That's totally fine. That's what's supposed to be safe with your man. Your insecurities that you're not projecting or attacking him with, you're just giving him an opportunity to reiterate or reaffirm you in that way that you might need a little bit of extra affirmation or confirmation about where you are. That's supposed to be safe with your man. He took that opportunity to humble her. Not right now. And that's an insecure, jealous man. That's not a man who's telling his truth, because why are you even with this woman if you don't think that she's pretty in her natural state? Come on. He took that opportunity, even as he saw that she was hurt. He took that opportunity to tell her that she's not pretty right now in her natural state. She's not pretty. Bring her down. Yeah, you're a celebrity. You're doing good for yourself. Everybody else love you. And there's a lot of dudes out here who are just raving about you, but you ain't got my acceptance. That's what that says. I want to give y'all like the game, like, so y'all can really know how to take this. I don't want you to just listen. I really want you guys to continue getting better. Because part of the attack on the family structure is the deception. And the deception only has an open door because you're dealing with somebody who's not able to fulfill your needs because he wasn't sent by God. And now you out here looking for like, well, what's the answer? And you looking just anywhere. But when you stop dealing with dudes that God did not send for you, you don't need to hear from somebody who's telling you a quick fix or whatever. So I want to give y'all the game so you can really start avoiding. Another way to know that God did not send that man for you, speaking of open door, is if he maintains open doors. There was another guy. It's so crazy how all this is relevant. This is why I knew when God put this on my heart to talk about it, wasn't an accident. There was a brother that he's an actor. Not gonna say his name. He just married the woman that was his best friend during his last marriage. Some of y'all may know who I'm talking about. He just married, right? He's on the second marriage. He divorced his wife, married the woman that was his best friend during his last marriage. Now, I'm not exactly sure how long the marriage was, but the best friendship apparently is over 40 years, 43-year-long best friendship with a woman. and he got married, keeping that best friendship with this woman, divorced the wife, whatever happened. I don't think I got clear on that part. But now he's married to the best friend. Y'all, I'm not talking from a pedestal. A lot of the stuff I can say because I've been there, I've done it raw, and I've done it right. But I can tell you for a fact, that was an open door from day one. And more than likely the reason why the relationship that he was in with his wife didn't have a chance from the beginning. He maintained an open door. A lot of people think, well, I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? I ain't crossing no boundaries. I ain't doing whatever. But they got an open door, and that is a cross boundary. Because in the Bible, it says, flee from sin. It don't say just don't partake, but keep it close to you. It says flee from sin. Don't even got to go to the Bible. Just practically, just tell me if what I'm saying is true for you. If your man flirts with temptation, not that he ain't crossed about, if he just flirts with temptation, do you feel safe in a relationship? No. Put I down in the chat if you don't feel safe in a relationship with a man that gets just close enough to do something but doesn't do it. Goes to the strip clubs on a regular but, doesn't go solicit any type of sexual activity. Flirts with girls, sends them or receives suggestive text messages, pictures, but never sleeps with them. Never goes into sexting them. And you cannot feel safe with that man. Put I down in the chat if I'm speaking to you when I say you're a woman that would see that as a huge red flag and start withdrawing or not feel safe in that relationship with a man who just flirts with temptation, but he doesn't do it. That tells you that man, if he's doing this on the regular, is not sent from God. A man who is sent from God is going to want closed doors. Now, let me just give y'all, I'm always giving discernment because I don't want to be a part of the gender wars, man versus woman. I want y'all to truly understand what I'm saying so we can actually come together, because I honestly feel like healthy men and women need each other. We're better for each other. We're better with each other. But if that man has an open door, that don't necessarily mean God didn't send. But when you bring that to his attention, does he get defensive? If he has a friend girl, maybe he ain't really checking. He ain't really thinking that this girl is doing too doggone much. How she looking at him. Maybe she vulnerable right now. She ain't thinking nothing about that. But you peep it and you bring it to his attention. Hey, this woman feels like she got access to you. This woman feels like she could talk to you a certain way. You need to set a boundary with that. Does he get defensive with you? If he gets defensive with you, that's not the man God sent. A man that God sent, if there is an open door and you, his queen, his woman, is letting him know, he's going to close that door. Co-worker. Maybe he's a physical trainer and just a woman client, just doing a little too much. So I'm saying, look at his patterns. If he has a pattern of keeping open doors and calls you jealous or insecure for wanting him to close those doors, that's not a man that God sent. And speaking of that, I don't even know what number we on. I know I done covered at least 4 or 5 now, but let me give you one more. And this one is extremely important because it basically goes into everything that we've talked about so far. How to know a man is not sent from God. If he's ridden with pride. If he's ridden with pride comes before a fall. It's in the Bible. That's one thing God don't like, is a prideful heart. He can't take no correction from you. He don't listen to you. People try to hold him accountable. He ain't with it. He's stubborn. He's rigid. He's not willing to be accountable and make adjustments if he can see clearly that something has bothered you. Pride. Oh, I'm a man. Pride that he has no control over. That tells you that man is not sent from God. Because a man who's truly sent from God, he understands he's a work in progress. He understands he ain't perfect. Even as a man, he understands there's things that he can be doing better. Hey man, you know what I'm saying? I want to be better. I'm coming to this with my absolute best effort, full on, checked in, all in on this, making it work. But I know I got some things I can do better. And if that man is not open to what you have to say and what you're giving him about how he can continue to be better, that man is also not open to God's will for his life, which is for us to be sacrificial in our love for our queen. Sacrificial meaning we're willing to sacrifice the pride. We're willing to sacrifice being right. if he always got to be right, that's not a man that God has sent, sis. The man God sent for you, he's going to be wrong sometime. He's not going to be Jesus Jr. I'm not trying to set y'all up for the okie doke where you got messed up expectations or you cut a man off because he made some time. He's not going to be Jesus Jr. But there's going to be a humility there, because ultimately what he wants is connection, not to be correct all the time, not to be right all the time. He wants connection with you. Some men, I was at an age where I didn't even understand this. I remember what it was like. You go in, you got your thoughts, you got your whatever, and you just got to leave that situation to right. And maybe he's a great debater and he's articulate or something like that. In any situation, if that man is rigid in that, he can't see things a different way. He can't empathize. He can't put himself in your shoes. He dismisses anything that doesn't align with what he already believes. That's a man who's not in control of that pride. He doesn't have the capacity, or maybe not even the intention, to manage that pride for the sake of his relationship with you, which is ultimately going to be a huge part of his foundation for his purpose to be achieved. Because that's how a man who's sent from God is even choosing. That should be a whole point by itself. The man that's sent from God is going to be choosing you based on how you fit into his purpose. 1, what he sees in you. 2, how he tries to integrate you. And 3, the things he's willing to adjust and the ways he's willing to adjust and the energy and effort he puts forward to adjusting so that he's able to strengthen and maximize you, maximizing him towards his purpose. That's a man that is sent from God. If a man needed you to show a lot of flesh, that's not a man that's sent from God. If a man just strictly needs you to stroke his ego and shut up and cook him meals, that's not a man that's sent from God. The man from God is going to want to eat your, no, don't get me wrong. He's going to want you to tell him nice things and cook for him. But he's also, again, he's going to be evaluating you according to how you should be able to ask this man, why did you choose this relationship? You got options, you come across women. Why did you choose this to invest in? What do you love about me? If nothing that man tells you has anything to do with his purpose in life, that he should already have defined, by the way, that's not the man God sent for you. And again, whenever you get with a man that God did not send for you, you're going to struggle to part ways with that man. Now, this sounds counterintuitive. Well, if God didn't send him, I know I ain't gonna care nothing about him. If he do me wrong, I know I ain't gonna care nothing about him. Can we keep it real for a second? If you love somebody with your whole heart, I don't care how dirty they do you, and this is man or woman. Somebody do you bad, do you dirty, but you love them with your whole heart, even though you may not want a continuation of a relationship with them, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt like hell. It could possibly be traumatic, depending on how much you invested. And it could be traumatic and hurtful for a very long time if you don't break that soul tie. Because that's what happened. You created a soul tie with this person, not a connection, not true love, but a soul tie. You got entrenched, you got integrated with this person. Your familiar started revolving around this person. And that was the entire foundation of them even being in your life as long as they were. Soul ties is basically the equivalent. Again, it's like a trauma bond, but on a spiritual level. It's a toxic attachment. It's not a healthy connection. And so afterwards, a lot of people think, well, I broke that tie to that person because I don't want them no more and I don't talk to them no more and I don't whatever. But you still get triggered by the things that they did wrong. And it's a whole different person that may or may not be doing something wrong, but you still get triggered just at the thought. You still hate to hear their name. You still can't open up to a new man based on how the last man or some man at some point in your history did you. Even if he's a good man, you struggle. You still have the same frustration with opening up to a new person because of the disappointment that you suffered with that. That's a soul tie, sis. If you leave somebody and you don't have that clean slate that consists of strictly to learn lessons from the past, but other than that, no other imprint. If you leave somebody and you don't have the full capacity to open up and give your best self to another man that's showing you green flags, that's checking the boxes for being sent from God, there's a soul tie somewhere you have not addressed. I'm just keeping it real with you. If you notice that this man is not answering strictly for how he shows up for you, but there's something else there's a soul tie there. That's why I did the masterclass. Let me see. Put this on here. I did the masterclass, breaking the soul tie. Cause I don't like, let me see, you can see my face. I don't like when people present these problems and don't present a solution. And I've already given y'all enough clarity, which is kind of the first step anyway. But if you're really trying to get closure, if you're really trying to get your peace back, I mean, totally back. Because a lot of times we think, oh, I just haven't healed enough. It's like, nah, you've healed plenty. At least as much as you possibly can, but you got to get the soul tie cut. It's nice if that snake, God forbid, by the way, in the literal sense, bites you, you can't just remove the snake. There's venom now that you got to deal with. Yes, you can go work out. Yes, you can look better, look good, et cetera, but to truly restore every bit of your, not just heart, but soul that was impacted, that was infiltrated by that man God did not send for you, you got to now break the soul tie, sis. And guess what? If you use the correct strategies, it doesn't take 5-10 years, 2 years, maybe not even a whole year. Honestly, no more than maybe a month. I'm talking 30 days to rid yourself of every soul tie if you use the right steps. Somebody said you missed the master class. Look in the pinned comments. Giovanna, I did an encore. I'm going to leave it up a little bit longer. So those of y'all watching now, if you missed the master class, Breaking the Soul Tie, it's absolutely free. I'm not selling you nothing. This is the chance to get it now. Pinned in the comments. Also, I put it it should be somewhere in the caption. Want more? Check the pinned comment. Break the soul tie. That's your next step to truly getting freedom, so you can wipe your slate clean mentally, emotionally, spiritually from the men who brought nothing but pollution, headaches, confusion, fear, frustration, discouragement, self-esteem issues, messed up your friendships. You got to detox. But back to what I was saying. If you don't position yourself, because it's not just about the weight. If you don't position yourself, Misty said that class is amazing and works. I'm telling you, and I made it free. This kind of stuff, honestly, y'all, my courses go $2,000 to $3,000 each. Because when we talking about changing somebody's life, right? This is a step-by-step I give, and I gave this for free. An hour and a half. But when you don't position yourself for the man God has sent for you, what you'll get is a counterfeit that the enemy sent to you. And you know what the enemy's objective is. Steal, kill, and destroy. Steal your joy. Kill your dreams. Destroy your peace. That's what a man that the enemy's going to send is going to do. And he's going to dress himself up, wrap himself up to look a lot like what God probably sent. When in reality, it's what your wounds and your flesh was attracting. That's what it was. It was a familiar to all of the ways that you've been hurt before. Like this, that's what the enemy is going to send. But when you armed with the truth of what it looks like when God truly sends a man, you ain't got to worry about that. However, a lot of y'all ain't just starting out with your first rodeo or finally going out here and dating for the very first time in your life. So you already done did it wrong at some point, which is fine. Now it's time for you to do the restoration. You done gutted out the house. You done got all the bad, like, you know what I'm saying? You done got the bad tenants out, but now you got to restore the house and all the damage that was caused by the ones that you had to evict. So you got to break that soul tie if you want to get your soul mate. But those are just my thoughts. I'm your internet big brother, Derek Jackson, looking out for y'all, man. Y'all my sisters, man. And some of my brothers watching this, I'm your big brother too. Looking out for you best way I can. And if anything that I said that you found helpful, if you found anything I said to be true, all I ask is that you be a facilitator of that truth. Spread the truth. You got too much lies out here spread already. Hit that share button so somebody else in your timeline can also get value from this the same way that you just did. And like I put it right here, if you want more, check the pinned comment right here. Get access to that. Jump on over right now. It's about an hour and a half long of straight gems. I made it free so everybody could get it. How to break a soul tie, step by step. Holla at y'all later. Y'all be good.